Hey guys, welcome back to Hope with Jonathan. I'm your host, Jonathan Trailer. I'm a 2 year kidney transplant recipient who utilizes his story to have a podcast, share stories much like mine right here on YouTube. And you can check it out. Go back and check out our catalog of different videos that we've done, different podcasts that we've done with some incredible individuals. Hey guys, listen, tonight's video, we're going to be talking about the 5 things that I'm most grateful for. And I'm glad that you joined us. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to us right here at Hope with Jonathan. We would definitely appreciate you. Hit that subscribe button. It would definitely help us out in our mission of sharing stories of hope. Again, guys, really appreciate you for tuning in to this video. Again, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started on this video. Like, again, I'm saying 5 things that I'm most grateful for. Listen, I want to start off with this number 5, and this is what I want to tell you. Okay, this is what I want to share with you. Number 5, I want to share with you is that I'm most thankful for the opportunity for life. Okay, I'm most thankful for the opportunity to have life, to have breath in my lungs, to have the ability to be able to do the things that I'm able to do, and be able to have that opportunity. I'm also very grateful in that opportunity for life to be able to share, my life and share my gifts and share, with others. And so that in itself to me is something to definitely be grateful for. So number 5 is I'm definitely grateful for the opportunity for life. When you've seen the other side of this thing, of life. And what I mean by that is when you get a glimpse of death, or you've had a near-death experience, you look at life completely different. You look at opportunities completely different. You look at the small things, little things in life that you would take for granted, air in your lungs, the ability to be able to just walk into your refrigerator and get something to drink, the smell of flowers, the ideal that you even have a vehicle to drive and go back and forth to work, that you have clothes on your back, that you have the ability to have things like a toothbrush, just little things in life become on a much grander scale when you've seen the other side of this life, and you have a near death experience, or you get close to death. You begin to appreciate the finer things in life. So definitely grateful for the opportunity to have life, air in my lungs, waking up every morning. It's truly a blessing. So number 5 would be the opportunity for life. So let's roll into number 4. Number 4 is going to be my friends. Okay, so my friends, um, not only my immediate friends, like people that I grew up with, people that I know, people that I hung out with, people that I grew up knowing, people that I'm associated with, on a physical level where I see them and actually know them, in my space, not my space, the app, but in my little world. Of my circle of friends, I'm appreciative for those friends, but some in the last couple of years, some of the friends that I've made have been actually virtual friends. And what I mean by that is I met them either on Facebook, or I met them on Instagram, or I met them on TikTok, or I met them on YouTube, or you name it. That's where I met them. And so virtually, I've met a lot of people. So I was introduced to the kidney community once I put it out there that I was, on dialysis and in need of a kidney, and especially after I started my podcast, and especially after people got to know me, I began to have a major growth spurt of just friends and people that wanted to reach out and be in touch, and wanted to get to know me, and follow me, which I find to be quite very encouraging and inspiring in itself, just because at the end of the day, Jonathan Trey was just an average individual who chooses to utilize his story for the greater good. And so for me, It's awesome to have the friends in the kidney community. So that's a huge bonus for me is to have all these friends from different parts of the world, different states, different countries. Yes, different countries. So I have friends in like Canada. I have friends in England and Wales and just in different parts of the world, different parts of the nation. In different states all over the United States. But it's definitely humbling and it's awesome though. It's awesome. It's an awesome feeling to be accepted by your peers and people that are experiencing the same thing. So or have experienced similar health issues and things like that. So it's great to reach out and connect. So I'm very thankful for my friends, not only my physical friends in my circle, but my virtual friends and people that I know via social media. Thank you very much for accepting me in the kidney community, and thank you for being my friend. A lot of you guys, I consider you guys, really close friends. Some of you guys that know me that may come across this video, you'll know who you are. It's been awesome to have you in my life, and those messages or those text messages and people reaching out want to know how I'm doing, how's things going. Man, that just means so much to me. So definitely number four is going to be my friends. Number three is a special one. Number three is a very special one. You're going to wonder why I didn't put it number one, but you'll find out here in a minute why I didn't put them number one. But number three is going to be my donor and my donor family. So my number three is donor and donor family. So many of you may not know this. In 2020 of August of 2020, August 11th of 2020, I was transplanted by way of direct donation. If you don't know what direct donation is, it's where you are basically direct donated from someone who has passed away, and they actually are taking the organs, and the family or someone requested that you know you that I would receive the kidney. So you can actually receive a kidney from someone via another state or another um, area, and it can be sent across, the states by, you know, via airplane or however they can get it to you. You may live in the same state, maybe it's coming from another city, or you could be in the same city. But what I'm saying is direct donation. It just means that you've been requested to be donated to specifically by one entity or one person. So I actually got a call from this family, and they actually told me that their brother had, sadly passed. I'm not going to go into the reasons or conditions or what happened on that note, but um, the family actually, conveyed and wanted to offer me his kidney because they knew that I was in need of a kidney due to the fact that I was posting on social media. Um, it's huge. It's huge. It was life changing. For those of you who don't know, I did 13 months or around 14 months of dialysis. That is a very short time on dialysis. Okay. There are so many different warriors out there that are doing dialysis currently and have been on dialysis for many years. And my heart goes out to you guys. And it's definitely a grueling schedule. It's not an easy lifestyle. Anybody that says, "Oh, dialysis is easy," has never truly lived it or experienced it. You have your good days, you have your bad days, and then you have some really terrible days. Not to scare anybody, not to freak you out, but I had some really rough days on hemodialysis in center. Things got a lot better for me when I switched over to HHD, home hemodialysis, with my wife as a care partner. And just around the time that we really got into a groove of things and started learning what we were really doing, I actually got the call for transplant via direct donation. My kidney came from the state of Kentucky, and it was flighted to the state of Texas. And on August 11th, 2020, I received my transplant. So, uh, like I said, Words fail me to express how I feel. Words fail me and emotions fail me right now to really get my point across to really how I feel. Because it's I mean, I'm speechless. Words fail me to express it. There's no amount of money that I could pay this person or pay the family to pay the debt back. Um, I mean, it's priceless. It's a priceless gift. And it's a gift of love, and it has completely changed my life. I mean, I'm dialysis free, and I'm able to do things that I wasn't able to do on dialysis, including home hemodialysis. It's given me back my life, my schedule. I'm back working. I'm doing things that I never thought when I was sitting in a dialysis chair in 2019 and 2020. I never thought that I was going to be able to do some of the things that I'm doing, but I'm blown away. And the only person that I can think right now at number three is the donor and the donor family. And I say the donor family, we should be grateful for the donor family. You know, in my case, the donor family reached out to me and told me that they wanted to direct donate to me. That was huge. I mean, they could have easily let his organs go to someone else. They could have easily said, "Hey, we're going to just let his organs go to someone else." But they knew that Jonathan Traylor was in need in Texas, and they reached out to me and they made sure that I got a kidney. How could I ever express that in words of my gratitude, or how could I ever pay that person back? And so every day that I get up, I'm grateful. It's a new day, and I try to my best in some way, shape, or form to share the message of hope and what I do with somebody. I try my best to do that. And not only that, but I utilize this platform for other people to come on and share their story as well. So I really feel like by giving back to the community, I'm involved with many different organizations, ambassadors for different nonprofit organizations, and uh, walks that I'm involved in, speaking with my members of House and Senate Congress, and talking with them about proposed laws and proposed bills that need to go in effect for kidney patients and for future kidney patients, and things like that. I feel like giving back is one way that I can pay them back, but it's not the it's not the end all of all. It's tough to explain. It really is. But number three is going to be my donor and my donor family. Very grateful every day, every day. Thankful, grateful for my donor and donor family. Rest in peace. God bless you. Number two is huge, guys. Number two is huge. Number two is huge. It's family. Family. I'm thankful for family. Um, if you're wondering, why I would be thankful for family, I mean, it pretty much explains itself. It's family, right? So your family's supposed to be good to you. You're supposed to get along with your family. You're supposed to love your family. But in my case, is my family, my immediate family was there for me in such a time of need, and did not waver, did not leave my side, was there for me in complete support when I went through the most traumatic event of my life in 2019, July 8th, 2019. Crashed into dialysis. Woke up 3 days later on a dialysis machine, a huge dialysis machine. Took up the whole room. And who was standing right next to that bed? Who? It was family. Family. My daughter holding my hand. My son was there. My mom was there. My wife was there. My mom's husband. My stepfather, he was there. It was huge, man. Huge support. You got to have it. You need some sort of support. It's tough for the ones that don't have it. I see and hear of stories that people say, I don't have family. But yet here I am going through this. And in my mind, it's unconceivable. I can't think of facing kidney failure or kidney disease in that manner. It's definitely tough. It's definitely hard to even think that you can even do that. But there are people, there are warriors out there that do. But in my case, I can only share my story on this platform. A lot of people need to understand that is that my story is different than your story. My story is different than other people's story. I can only share my story. I can only share my experiences. But my family was huge for me and came through for me huge with support. And I want to encourage someone out there that may be going through the diagnosis of a chronic illness or chronic disease such as kidney disease. If you're not finding support with your family, you need to find it in another form or fashion. You need to find some friends. If you don't have friends, then you need to find a place in your community. If you can't find that on your own, then you need to reach out to someone, social worker. So I would start with a social worker. And if you are a religious person and you're involved in a church, I would definitely reach out to your pastor or your preacher or your minister or your priest or whoever it is, whoever it may be. Doesn't matter. I would reach out to your religious leader, because you're in a predicament and you need support. Whether some people are like, I don't need support. I don't need it. That is not true. You need someone to talk to listen to you. Maybe you need to vent about your day. Maybe you just need to talk to someone about your situation. Get that off your chest. You wouldn't believe you begin to feel like this release, like just breathe, be able to breathe. Get that off your chest. I'm telling you, it's mind-blowing what support can do for you. So a lot of times, like I said, people don't have family for support. Reach out to support in other forms or fashion other than family, friends, community, church. Believe it or not, I'm going to go ahead and shameless plug, and I'm not sorry. Kidney Solutions has support groups for kidney patients. So if you're facing kidney disease, recently diagnosed with kidney disease, being told that you're going to need a transplant, being told that you're fixing to need dialysis, being told that you're going to need a donor soon. Maybe you've already had a donor and you're just looking for a support group for kidney transplant recipients, much like me. You can join our support group, and we offer this for the patient. We also offer this for family members. So come join us. Reach out to me. I'll definitely get you the information. We have a support group. We meet every Monday night, 6 p.m. Central. Okay. If you're not already following Kidney Solutions, a network of transplant experience, you can find them on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. I post on LinkedIn as well. So you can find all kind of different information about Kidney Solutions at kidneysolutions.org. And all services completely free. Let me say that again. All services are completely free. And it's an honor to be involved with Kidney Solutions, and I find them to be much like family. So number 2 is family. Number 1, the number one thing that I'm thankful for, number one thing that I'm grateful for. You're going to find out why I didn't put number 3 at number 1, because no one can be over the number 1. And the number 1 reason is I'm thankful and grateful for my relationship with God. That may be something different from you. You may not share my belief. You may not share my same faith, but I am grateful for my relationship and knowing that I have the ability to pray to my God at any given time. I have the ability and have the faith and the fortitude to be able to have faith in my God and to believe that He will carry me through. And believe you me, you go through something like kidney failure, in an emergency situation and you crash into dialysis and you're barely hanging on to life and you're barely hanging on and you're grasping for straws, let me tell you, you will reach out. You will reach out to God. You will reach out to Him. You will be begging for His help. Believe me, it's built into you. And I found myself there flat on my back, July 8th, 2019, begging God for help. I sat on the edge of my bed. Yeah, too many people know this. I popped an aspirin. I didn't know what was going on with me. I thought maybe I was having a heart attack. Popped an aspirin, sat on the edge of my bed, and I prayed a prayer like you wouldn't believe, begging God for help, telling Him that I would do this and that and serve Him and do this for Him. Desperate times sometimes, desperate measures, desperate times, desperate measures, I'm telling you. You end up doing things and that you say you don't need, or you might say, well, I don't need to pray, or I don't need to believe in God. Listen, you go through something like a near-death experience and you'll find yourself begging God. You'll find yourself. I had already had a relationship with God, so I knew I could go to God. My mother raised me in the church. My mother raised me to pray. My mother raised me to believe. When I say church, I was born and raised in a Pentecostal church, okay? I was born and raised, I lived in Kentucky. And I was born and raised in a strong faith, in a background of strong faith and belief and healing, and people laying hands and people having strong faith that God could heal them and God could touch them and God will save them. And I had a strong upbringing in that. And my mind began to go back to those days and those meetings that I would attend where people had strong hope and strong faith and strong belief that something good was going to happen and that God was going to bring them through. And so I sat on the edge of my bed with the same faith and the same hope and the same belief. And I began to pray a prayer of faith and said, God, I need you to help me. I need you to take over this. Guess what? I survived a near-death experience. Only because God wanted me to. Could have easily taken me. Could have easily taken me here at the house. He could have easily taken me while I was back here in the bed. He could have easily taken me in a helicopter when I was flying to the hospital. He could have easily taken me once I crashed and woke up 3 days later. I could have never woke up again. Listen, God had a purpose. God had a plan. God had a reason for me to experience all that. I know people think that I'm nuts. Like, you really think that God had you go through all that? Yes. Absolutely. He put you through things in life to build character. He put you through tests in life and allows things to happen to you to build character so that you can be useful to Him and that He can use your greater good and your gifts through Him. And He takes that and He utilizes that. And when you begin to connect into your calling, He begins to use those times, those dark times, and when you really needed Him most. And now you can share that with other people and say, hey, listen, just like I'm doing right now. Listen, I experienced this. This is what I went through. This is what I experienced. And this is where He brought me to. This is where He brought me from. So I'm telling you, number one is God. Number one is God, my relationship with God. Am I perfect? Am I where I need to be every day? Am I walking? Am I a perfect human being and I'm not making mistakes or doing things in life? Absolutely not. I'm not perfect. Jonathan Traylor is not perfect. I have my days. I have my down days. I have things that go on and moments of despair. I have issues. I have things that happen. I have just like anybody ever, everyday problems. Anybody else that has, everything. You name it. Problems with the kids, argument with your wife, disagreements with other family members. I have those. Normal thing. Money problems, bill paying problems, car breaking down problems. I've had all those. But at the end of the day, God has been there for me and he's been good. He could have easily left me in the bed and said, you know what, Jonathan Traylor, you haven't been serving me like you should. You haven't been doing this or that. You know what? I think it's time for you to go. Nope. He didn't do that. He had a purpose. He had a plan, just like he has a plan for you. He has a plan. He has a purpose. You're facing the most traumatic, darkest obstacle and adversity in your life. Listen, God has a greater purpose and a plan for you. Now, you say, well, what happens if God decides to take me, or God, what if I die? You know what? Then that was God's plan for you. That was his plan. See, it's his plan. It's not our plan. His ways are his ways, and our ways are not exactly his ways. See, he sees the greater. He knows the path. He knows what he wants to do with you. So you have to trust. You have to trust him. And sometimes we don't like the outcome. We don't like God's will. But at the end of the day, I truly believe that God has a greater purpose for people. And if he chooses to take you, then that was his will. But I truly believe that God utilizes and takes people that have been through traumatic events and traumatic situations and turns that situation around so that he can get the greater glory out of it. And then you become what? A testimony. And we are overcomers by sharing our testimonies with other people. And that's what I'm doing, guys. I'm sharing my testimony with other people. Don't think it strange that Hope with Jonathan, and a lot of people don't even realize this is my ministry. This is what God's called me to do. I'm supposed to share my story with other people. And the other, maybe people look at my story and maybe people look at me and say, you know what, he just shares his story because he gets something from that. No, not really. I share my story with other people so that God can get the glory. But not only that, I'm trying to uplift other people, and I'm trying to give them hope, and I'm trying to give them encouragement. And so if you've gotten anything from this today, out of these 5 things that I'm most grateful for, you're going to know that Jonathan Traylor is definitely grateful. He's a very grateful and thankful person, and definitely am a believer in God. And I like to thank, the Lord Jesus Christ for being in my life. And if that offends you, please feel free to unsubscribe or move on, carry on. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I still love you. But that's the truth. My relationship with God is the number one thing in my life. And that's the reason why I'm sitting here. Because he decided to take my story, and he decided to take me and say, listen, I can take him and I can use his story for the greater good. And he can begin to share hope. You think Hope with Jonathan was an ideal in the back of Jonathan Traylor's mind? No, this was divine. This was a divine ideal. Everything you see out, the production, the videos, the designs, the anything you see is a design. It's all from God, and God needs to get all the glory. But let's recap. So number 5 was the opportunity for life. Definitely excited about that. Number 4 is my friends in the kidney community, my virtual friends, even my friends in my inner circle. I appreciate you. Number 3 is the donor and donor family. I can't do what I do without my donor family. Number 2 is going to be family, man. I love my family. I appreciate them. They were there for me whenever I needed them the most. And that proves so much to me. Number 1 is my relationship with God. Everything I've said is the truth. I hold nothing back. There's no reservations here. And I have people that can vouch for my story. I have medical paperwork that states what happened. And I know the truth because I lived it. You can too. I want to give you that feeling is that from this video is that 5 things I'm most grateful for, but I want to let you know that you can make it too. And you need to have a spirit of gratefulness and thankfulness that you're still here and that God still has a plan for you and he still has a life for you and he still has a plan for you to do things. Listen, when I was in dialysis and in center, I started having thoughts like, this is my life. This is exactly what I'm going to be doing the rest of my life. And this is it. And I started realizing that this is what I get to look forward to the rest of my life. This is it. That wasn't the case. God had other plans. You got to trust the process. You gotta trust God, trust the process. He's molding you, he's making you, and it's not over with yet. And for those of you who are been waiting for a long time for transplant, for those of you who are maybe you're not eligible for transplant, I want you to know that God continues to have a plan for you. Dialysis is a treatment for kidney failure. So is transplant. Transplant is merely a treatment for kidney failure. Okay? It's not a miracle. It's not a miracle that kidney disease just all of a sudden goes away. You still deal with kidney disease. You still deal with the issues and things that go on. It's not a miracle. It's not like all of a sudden you're kidney disease free. I feel like I'm living my best life with kidney disease, but it's not like all of a sudden you're completely free from kidney disease. But I will say this, and in closing, I really appreciate all of our support. And with your support, we will continue to share stories of hope. As you can see behind me right there. Share stories of hope, man. It's huge. Sharing stories, I feel like it's so encouraging to share your story with other people. Like I said, we're overcomers by the power of our testimony. So it's a good thing for us to share our story, to encourage other people, so that other people who are facing the same struggles and the same situations, they realize that, hey, I can make it. Jonathan Traylor made it. Jonathan Traylor made it, so I can make it. And you know what? There are people out there that had under, the sound of my voice that have experienced way worse than me. And there are people that have been on this podcast that I've sat back and listened and I'm like, man, my story's peanuts compared to theirs. They've been through it all and then some. I've had people on my show that's had heart transplants and strokes, and I've had people that's had lung transplants and kidney transplants, and it's like, I'm blown away at the human spirit and the belief that things can get better. And that's the main goal of our show, is that we want to bring forth hope. And that's what this podcast is all about. We want to have shows of encouragement, shows of hope. I've already expressed and told you on a video before. We talked about wanting to share a message of hope. If you're interested in that, you can go back and watch that video. And then I've also talked about that we will break away at some point and we will do some shows of messages of hope. We will do shows that are talking about other things other than chronic kidney disease. We're going to talk about people overcoming great obstacles and great adversities. Because Hope with Jonathan can be anything. Now, we will never go completely away from kidney disease. I can't. There's no way. No way. I'm a kidney patient, so I'll keep talking about kidney disease the rest of my life. But I want you guys to know that you need to have a spirit of thankfulness. You need to have a spirit of gratitude. It's hard to be grateful when you're experiencing some of the worst things and traumatic things that you ever have in your life. It is hard. It's difficult. It's a difficult task to ask for people to see the good or the better in a situation such as definitely when you're on dialysis or kidney failure. But dig deep, and you'll find something deep down in there that you're thankful and grateful for. Most definitely. Hey guys, listen again. My name is Jonathan Trailer. I'm the host of Hope with Jonathan. I really appreciate you for joining me on this video. Again, it would mean a lot to us if you'll hit that subscribe button. It would help us a lot in our mission of sharing stories of hope. And again, guys, check out our show. You can check out our website as well, hopewithjonathan.com. If you're not already familiar with us, hopewithjonathan.com will kind of explain more about my story, where you can find us, and where you can follow us. Also, if you're newly diagnosed with kidney disease, maybe you're facing dialysis, maybe you're being told that you're going to need a transplant, maybe you're being told that you're facing, kidney failure, maybe you're being told that you need to find a support group. Reach out to us. It's completely free. KidneySolutions.org, a network of transplant experience. It speaks for itself. It's for patients, by patients. So it's ran literally by kidney patients. And the Vice President, Kent Bressler, is a 35-year kidney transplant recipient. And he'd be glad to talk with you more about his services. You can reach out to him at KidneySolutions.org, 830-285-2140. Now, I am also an ambassador for Kidney Solutions, so you can reach out to me as well, and I can definitely get you in touch with the right people. But again, guys, I really appreciate you for tuning into our podcast. Hit that subscribe button. It would help us further share stories of hope. Hope you guys take care. God bless you guys. Remember to take care of your kidneys. God bless. This is Jonathan.